morning everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we have big waves today. Big swell has arrived at Uluwatu. I am on my way to go check the waves. However, in today's video I'm going to share with you how to paddle out to big waves at Uluwatu. So I've already woken up, I have done my meditation, I drank a bunch of water, I even did my physio exercises with the stretchy band. I have showered and I am on my way to get coffee and check the waves. So let's go. Okay, I'm at BGS. Oh yes, I'll hold it please. So funny, when I was driving, my hat blew off, so I just took it off. Some nice man picked it up for me, and couples that were at breakfast obviously. I was driving and the whole thing blew off. Okay, I just drove down and I saw some bigger sets. So much bigger than yesterday. Very excited. So if you watched yesterday's video, or the video from before, the video that I created yesterday, I talked all about like preparing to surf for big waves, and today I'm going to share with you how I personally paddle out to the bommy wave. I'm not going to tell you or give you tips on paddling into the wave, but I will share with you how I actually get from the land into the ocean. And then I can also, as a bonus tip, I can also share with you how I come in. Let's look at the waves. There's no set right now. Wait. I'm gonna start actually though with my coffee. Wonderful. Oh, that is wonderful. Oh, don't you just love coffee in the morning? Okay, so here's the first tip already. For me personally, everybody likes to surf different parts of Uluwatu on a big day. On a big day, obviously, when it's really big, it will be breaking out the back on the left and the right. The left, if you're looking at the ocean, it will be bommy, and actually all the way to the left you also have secrets. So there's actually 3 spots that you can surf when it's like really like the big size. Yes, people also surf kind of like the racetrack on Main Peak, but when you have like the big waves, they're going to be at secrets, it's going to be at bommy, and it's going to be outside corner. For me personally, when I like to preferably surf bommy, it's with more water. So the ideal for me, if it's breaking and it's really big, I like to go before the high tide, be there at the high tide push, and then after the high tide. Now, depending of course on when the high tide is, like if the high tide is at 7 a.m., I'm not going to be in the water at 5 a.m. So of course, as we know, the tides, it always changes the different times of the day. For yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and how the tides have been lately, the high tide is in the middle of the day. So when I surf bommy, I always surf with a gun. I've surfed mini bommy with like a 6.3, but yeah, it's like when bommy's really breaking, it's really big, you want to go with your big board. And my big boards start at 7.2, and my biggest gun is an 8.6. So for me, I like to paddle out when there's actually more water. I know some guys who like to paddle out for outside corner, which works with the low tide, and it can still be like shallow, and they like walk all the way out to the reef and then they go in. I did that one time last year after the swell dropped a little bit and I had my small gun. I walked out when it was low tide and it was terrifying. Look at this, look at this. Today's interval period is 16 seconds, so it's definitely more consistent right now. There's a lot more waves coming through. Still not too big yet, actually. It's only like 4 foot, maybe 6 foot. Not sure. There's people sitting out at Outer Peak. Those lines. We have somebody from Outer Peak. That's good. kind of outer peak, the bottom of Bommy, I guess. Okay, anyone here? No. Okay, look at how nice it looks. So pretty. I love seeing all the lines. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. Okay, very exciting. Woo! Oh, so yes, because now if you can see with the clip before, like it's still shallow. I believe today the high tide is at noon at 12. So my ideal to paddle out would be like 10. Also, it looks like the wind changes at 3 p.m. Yesterday it changed at 12 p.m. It's like east-southeast wind until like 3 p.m. In the mornings it's been clean, and then the afternoon a little bit like textured, and it changes. But yeah, the condition looks really good today. And I think today also looking at this, I'm still just, maybe I will just wait maybe just for the next big set. However, I'm thinking today I may paddle out on my 8.0 and not my 8.6. Oh, yes. You'll have to excuse me. I'm just going to leave my sunglasses on for the moment. Yesterday my eyeballs got a little bit sunburned, so I just want to keep the sunglasses on. I know I'm talking to the video. However, so my tips for paddling out. Hey, how was it? Nice. So for me, when I paddle out on a big gun, I am always going to paddle out from the cave. Actually, anytime I surf here, I always paddle out from the cave. Again, like I said before, I preferably like to paddle out when there's more water, because when I come like out of the cave, and actually just getting out of the cave, that can be a whole situation. At high tide, that can be a whole situation. I can tell you another story another time about how my pink board got damaged, my very first one. Ooh, there's a good set here.
It's not too big. Yeah.
I will always paddle out from the cave once I have exited the cave. And I also do this on any size day. Now, some of my friends make fun of me because I go the long way around. However, I have been surfing here since, not very long, only like 3 years, since June 2021. And I have paddled out from different sections once you enter out of the cave. My safest way to paddle out on any size day for me, of course, even at low tide on a smaller day, but on a bigger day, when there's a little bit more water, I will come out of the cave, I will go right, I will go around that big rock on the corner, and I will paddle like down along kind of like past racetrack, like I will float down a bit. You will see like as the sets start to come in, and obviously also you want to get the right timing. Now, sometimes on really big days there's really big sets and there's a wait in between the sets, so again you need to be really mindful of the timing. Like you don't necessarily want to paddle out when there's like 8 to 10 sets coming through. So that's another trick. You need to like be watching the waves, see how long there's a wait in between the big sets. However, if I've got the right timing, I come out, I turn right, and I paddle along like kind of like the shore, and there'll be like whitewash breaking. I will watch for that and paddle. For me, because I've got to know what the reef looks like down there when there's like no water, there's a certain section where the wave like comes almost like at a diagonal, and you can see it when the whitewash and the wave breaks. I paddle past that. As the sets are still coming, like if there's like there's still sets coming, I know that if I get past a certain section, like down past all that whitewash, obviously with the gun you cannot duck dive a board. Like so many people say, oh, what do? Do you duck dive a gun? For me, there is absolutely no way that I am duck diving. I am abandoning ship. I let my board go, I dive under the wave, I come up, I pull back the leash, I grab my board and keep paddling. So if there are some bigger sets coming and there's a lot of whitewash coming towards me, I time it where hopefully, yes, it's the wave is already broken and there's already like whitewash, and then I let the board go, I go under. And as I'm doing that, because for me preferably I like to do that with more water, I know that if I'm rolling and I get dragged on those really big days and down the end there, the current and the water is super strong. I know that I'm able to roll around in water and not hit. Yes, I have on smaller days, even on bigger days. I have not had good timing, and I have gotten washed all the way around the corner, almost pretty much to Thomas Beach. Not quite at Thomas Beach, but like almost, like way past the corner, Ulu Cliff House, like, yeah. It can take me a while to get out. So that is my strategy. I will go out, I turn right, I paddle down along like past racetrack, I wait and I'm watching as the sets as the white. And I'm also, as I come out of the cave, I'm also looking far to my left to see what sets are coming. And then if there's like a lot of sets coming and I've come out of the cave, then I kind of wait, kind of like where like the racetrack section is, and I'm just like just waiting in the whitewash section. And then when I know, okay, I'm going, then I paddle further and I like go under the waves, and then I paddle out. Maybe that doesn't make sense, but if you have surfed Ulu, maybe you would know, like on a smaller day. Now, I even do that on a smaller day. Some people are able to just come out of the cave and paddle straight out from the cave. Yeah, I used to do that. And still, I would get surprise sets on my head. So even on smaller days, 3 to 5, 4 to 5, 4 to 6, even like 5 to 7 days, I still go that long way. Yes, it takes me longer, but mentally for me and energetically for me, like, it's my safe way. It's the way that I feel the most confident paddling out. On the days when I've been out here, and the biggest day I came out last year was forecasted at 15 to 18 foot. Yes, I still came out that way. So that is my tips. Now, of course, there are also some people, I don't even know how they do this, they will come out of the cave, they turn left, even on a big board. And they turn left and they paddle out where Sulaban Beach is, where the actual beach is, and they paddle straight out. Yeah, I don't know how they do that, even on smaller days. Have not been successful paddling out that way. Oh my goodness, you've got to see these lines. Okay, I'm sitting down. It's almost 9. I have my breakfast. I'm gonna add some grande granola, chocolate and peanut butter. And, something that I didn't mention before. So once you actually make it out of the cave and you come around and you actually like make it out, like past all the whitewash, and you're actually like out, and maybe you're swept around the corner just a little bit, then, because this is all about how to paddle out to the Bommy wave, you need to then paddle from, once you've come out and you're actually like in the water, I mean, you're like out, then you need to paddle all the way up to Bommy. It can take like 15 minutes one time, because last year I got swept, like I said previously, around the corner, and it took me like 25 minutes to get back to Bommy. It's a long paddle back to Bommy, because Bommy is, when it's breaking, it's really big and it's really far out deep. So like I usually time it from once I like actually like get out, then I paddle up to Bommy, and it's usually like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I will time it today, and I can confirm that at the end of today's video. However, that are my tips on how to paddle out. Like I said again, these are all my own personal experiences. Bommy is the wave that I will always surf when it's big. I haven't yet gotten to outside corner. When I do, I can start to share about that. As you know, my disclaimer is I'm not a professional surfer. I haven't been surfing for like 20, 30, 40 years. This is just my own personal experience of always surfing Bommy on a big swell, even on the smaller swells. So they are my tips for paddling out to Bommy. I'm gonna eat my breakfast now, and then you can continue to follow me along today and see what happens. Okay, here is my 8-0. I think today that this could be the board. This is 80. It is, I bought it used off my very good friend Phil. Oh my god. It's actually not that heavy. Phil is my friend from Hawaii, and he was here earlier this year. Oh, that's very close. I need to get this waxed up. It almost feels like, oh my god, it almost feels like, oh my god, it almost, okay, wait. It almost feels like my 710 is almost heavier. And actually the guys at Studio Repair said the glassing was better, but I actually really like these dimensions. This is the Lucas Chumbo flat deck model. It is an 80 20 by 3. It is 50.3 liters. So it's still like a good, weight of a board. I'm gonna get this one waxed up. I need to put the fins in. I have my big wave leash already. And today I'm going to wear, yesterday I was a bit cold because we were waiting a lot in between the sets, but today is 16 seconds, so the waves should be coming in a little bit more frequently than they were yesterday. I'm gonna put my Atmosi wetsuit underneath, and I have my Vissla impact suit. This is actually a Groms for boys. This is something that I actually have been thinking about. They don't make impact suits specifically for women. So I found this one. I have a Patagonia one here. This one is a men's extra small. I think they actually even make this in a double XS. That would almost be better because the extra small is still a little big up the top for me. This one is definitely a lot more snug. I'd have to see. Yeah, the padding is almost, maybe the padding in the Patagonia is a little bit more thicker. However, this is like a really, it's still pretty thick actually. It's still pretty thick actually. So I'm actually gonna double layer. This is 1.5 millimeter. I wonder how many millimeters thick the Vissla one is. But I will wear that obviously for safety. I always wear an impact suit. And yeah, let me wax up my board. Yeah, it already has some wax on it, but I just pre-did a little bit of wax. I'm somebody that likes to overuse wax, especially on a big day. I definitely do not want to be sliding around too much. So I'm like really overkill on the wax. I actually need some waxing tips. If you have any good waxing tips, please leave it in the comments. Okay, I am gonna also just do a quick stretch, not a full yoga practice, just to get like a down dog in my body and an up dog in my body, and just to do a few like spinal twists. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm all ready to go. Yeah, oh, fins could be helpful. Here is my storage room with my boards. Okay, just looking for my medium FCS2 fins. Okay, looking for the fins. Okay, a bit of a small panic, but no worry. I found the fins. Okay, this board actually has, okay, Tiffany, where is the fin key? Oh my god. Oh, there's a fin key in here. This board, the fuck? 1, 2, let's put a quad fin screw in here. I actually have FCS2 for this gun. Usually all my guns, my 7.2, my 7.6, and my 8.6, they are all futures. However, this gun, the 80, is future FCS. This is FCS. It was just how it is. I actually love these FCS2 fins. These are medium. I've also learned people have recommended to me big board, medium fins. Before, for my 8.6, I had on twiggy, large fins. However, people were like, no, big boards, you've got so much board, you've got to use medium fins. So I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, I've used this board one time with in G-Land. I got one really fun wave, felt really good. So we're just gonna try again. These are the Matt Biolis Mayhem fins, and I love them. They are so fun. I just really felt a difference when I got these fins. I bought these in Hawaii, and then when I got back to Australia, I bought the small fins because in my shortboards in Bali, I use small fins. And then when it gets bigger, I will use medium fins. But yeah, I really like these fins. They feel really good. Yeah, let's see how it feels today. Like I said, the glassing is definitely not as heavy as the 710 Spowie board that I have. That Spowie board I bought last year, used at White Monkey. Spowie is actually a South African shaper. He is not with us on Earth today. However, he made really amazing boards. And my 710 actually has glassed in fins. Let me tell you, I love glassed in fins. If y'all have any tips on how to get the fins in, sometimes people put wax to make it a bit easier. Yeah, there's so many things that we could talk about. If there's anything that you would like me to discuss specifically, I would love to answer your questions or your queries or share more about anything with surfing, bigger wave surfing. You know, just leave that in the comments. I'm more than happy to address any concerns or questions that you have. Yeah, okay, I just got here. And when I arrived, there was like no set. Hi, Sonia. Hi, pretty. Okay, there's a jet ski out there. It's actually quite crowded, like at the main peak. But when I first arrived, there was like no set, and I was like, oh my god. So there is some size there. I do see that Mommy, once it like fills up with water, there should be something. So let's just go out there. It's definitely bigger than yesterday. So we're here. We're gonna put the more wax on. There's definitely some signs. So I also don't want to think, oh yeah, it's not that big, and then like fully see Mommy breaking when I'm at main peak, or get Mommy on a smaller board and be like, oh no, I wish I had a bigger board. Here we go. We're gonna put this here. There's definitely some size out there, and it definitely should push at the high tide. Okay, let's see. This is never easy to get on. Morning!
Hey.
Whoa! Whoa! Okay, I realize that I actually have on a lot of layers, but I would prefer to be more hot than cold out there. Yesterday I was cold, waiting for sets, and then when you get cold, you get stiff. Yeah, it's definitely filling in out there. I think I made the right choice with the Alo board. Okay. Yeah, okay, it's like big, but it's not like super big. Oh my god, my wetsuit feels really tight. I mean, what's this? Impact suit. I'm also timing in between sets. Right now there was a set just there. And I'm gonna see how many minutes in between. Ready, I'm gonna go there. As the high tide comes, there should be some push. Yeah. There's a lot of people at Outer Peak. There's no one at Bomi, but I'm gonna go there because I saw something. Okay, I just got out and it is 2:01. So I think I was there like more than 3 hours, and it wasn't until the high tide push came that then I got some really good waves. I got a few set waves, 2 really good waves, and I was really happy. I think it must have been on my, the first wave I tried to take off on. I think I was too far forward on my board, and then I nosedived, wiped out. But then like my second, or maybe it was my third wave, the third wave, as I was like taking off, I really tried to like adjust my feet, to pivot my feet back so I could get a little bit further back on my board to like reposition myself. Yeah, I'm really happy with the waves I got. I really tried to focus on like reading the wave and then trying to like maneuver my body to read the wave, to like ride the wave. So yeah, I'm stoked. Yeah, it wasn't really that big again. It's definitely now like lower tide, not fully low tide, but like must be mid tide now. Peak looks really fun. I'm definitely glad I had my 8.0 for sure. Like I'm super glad. And actually, that board rides so well. I definitely like riding thruster. Look at this. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, I'm definitely grateful that I had a bigger board. Yeah, for sure. Like, there were guys up at Bomi on 6.6. Yeah, they were sitting more on. There was a guy fully sitting on the inside of me twice. And I still took off because I'm like, I'm going. I have the bigger board here. I'm sitting deeper. Going, there's still some kind of sets coming through. But it's more, again, everybody was saying like a west as well. So not the best direction for Bomi, but like there was still some waves. Yeah, I guess, again, like I said yesterday, if you've been following, like it's better Bomi southwest, whereas today was more west. So again, like I got out there at 10:46, like 11, like an hour before the high tide, and there was nothing. We're all sitting on a boat. Dolphin was out there. He's like the most amazing surfer. He tows. He's towed at like Nazare. He's out here sometimes on the biggest days on like jet skis towing. I did my first tow lesson with him. You should check out my Instagram for that. I've only had one tow lesson with Dolphin. But he was out there today as well, and he was like, he was sitting more inside, and then he just disappeared. Anyway, that was super fun. I'm gonna go check the photos. My eyeballs are like a little bit struggling. We've still got tomorrow, so yeah. But I really like this board. I think this was perfect for today. This 8.0. I actually really like thruster. I think I'm definitely liking thruster better than quad, personally. I haven't yet had like a 10 to 15 foot day on a quad setup, but so far I really like thruster still for big boards. Say hi, Wakwao.
Hi. Good wave today?
Yes, I got a couple good ones.
Maybe let's see. Look.
Okay, let's see.
Let's see. Big wave. Oh, look, monkey from Uluwatu.
Uluwatu monkey!
Monkey, Get the monkey.
Look. Oh my. Well, the waves that I got, not bad. It's a little bit bumpy, yeah?
Yeah.
Gosh. Anyway, Wakwa, he works here at Jeffrey Photo.
Yeah.
They take photo and video. There's a few guys that actually shoot
Yeah.
and take video.
We just clean the video.
Yeah. Oh, not bad. Thank you, Wakwa.
Okay. Excellent.
I'm here with Enzi.
Yeah, hello.
Say hi to my vlog, Enzi.
Hi, everyone.
So pretty. Enzi is saying how busy it is right now. August is high season. Very busy here in the warung, in top warung.
So baru.
Yoo! I just have a coconut,
Yeah.
fresh coconut.
Tarik. Lagi nge-vlog.
Say hi, Sonia.
Sonia. Say hello, Nana.
Say hello, Naga. Hello, hello. I am now showered and sitting here in my home office. I just wanted to recap today's events and then share a few insights that I had and then just share with you what I will be sharing with you tomorrow, because tomorrow we also have Swell. It is supposed to be bigger. It's likely the same west direction. It is 17 seconds. I don't even really know. We never really know what the swell is going to be. And this is something that I was sharing with a guy that was in the lineup today. His name is Tom. Very, very good surfer. Has been surfing for 30 years, has been surfing Bali for 10 years. And it was interesting today because as we were sitting waiting for the wave, I said to him, I did all the right things. I had good sleep. I drank my coffee. I had a good breakfast. I meditated. I did some stretching, my yoga practice. I arrived in time. I checked the wave. Like I did all the things that I could do to prepare for the waves. However, we definitely cannot control what Mother Nature does. We were there and we were just waiting. Yes, I'm very, very fortunate that the high tide push came and I got some fun waves after the high tide. I got a few waves. I'm not sure if the photographers got my third wave. However, I think today I got 5 waves. One wave I took off and I wiped out. That was my warm-up wave. The last wave that I got was just this tiny wave just to come in. However, there were 3 good waves. I'm not sure if I got my second wave. I thought there was a wave that was a little bit bigger. However, I'm really, really happy with the waves that I got. Today and every day that I'm out there, I'm really trying to focus on more technical things with surfing the Bali wave. And of course, like I shared with you yesterday, all about like surfing big waves and what to prepare. Today I was sharing about how to paddle out to the Bali wave. And yes, so I shared with you earlier this morning about paddling out, and my paddle out today was actually not too bad. I had maybe like 3 sets on the head and then I paddled out and I got out there. It took me about 14 minutes and I was kind of just pacing myself. I wasn't fast paddling. I was just like warm up paddling from once I got out like past the sets, then from, like around the corner all the way up to Bali. It took me about 14 minutes to paddle up there. And then I sat though for like an hour until the high tide push came. So I'm grateful for the paddle out today. It wasn't too hectic. I've definitely had worse. I've definitely had, not easier, but I've definitely had different times, different situations paddling out there. I really do hope that you have enjoyed watching this vlog. Tomorrow I am going to be sharing about conquering fear, my journey to surfing Uluwatu's biggest waves. This is what the theme will be, because one of the most common questions that I get on my Instagram and with people following me is, how do I overcome fear paddling into these big waves? Or am I scared when I'm out there, how to deal with my fear when I'm out there. So I will be sharing more about that with my fear when it comes to surfing really big waves. And look, today, again, it was only 8 to 10 foot. So that is definitely like larger size. However, it's not big. And because of the direction, it wasn't like the classic bommy where you have these massive, huge walls coming at you, where it's like really like, you really have to focus out there and try to be in the right spot. You don't want to be too deep, too inside, because sometimes bommy can surprise you. And that's the thing as well, that, one more thing before I leave. Bommy, you've got to have patience. Bommy definitely teaches me to have patience, because sometimes when you think, oh, it's not really working, there's no sets, I'm too far out, Bommy will surprise you that if you just be patient and you wait, there definitely can come those big bommy sets. Now, today there was some bigger sets. However, it was still 8 to 10, maybe 8 to 12 feet. I definitely enjoy it when it gets to 10 to 15 plus. I really enjoy the really big waves. However, I was really happy with today, and I really do hope that you've enjoyed. I will insert the clips that I got of me surfing, and I do hope that you found some value and some vibe, and you've had fun watching the vlog. Please support my channel. I am focused on growing to 1,000 subscribers so that I can monetize my channel. If you also really enjoyed it, I would love if you gave me a thumbs up. And if there's anything that you would like me to share, please leave it in the comments. Otherwise, I will see you next video. Thank you. Bye for now.